wake up and let the weirdness begin. It's the KVJ show to start your morning. Kevin is the host, and his skin pigment is whiter than Casper the Ghost. Virginia sounds like this. Nickname Vicious Beast, so don't get her pissed. It's Jason, talks like a spaz, and he loves to talk about Bigfoot and stats. So get ready, here we go. You're listening to 97.9 with the KVJ show.
Well, here we go. Welcome to your Wednesday KVJ show. Good to see everybody had a day. Got it going on. Very happy for you, Jay Bird. I saw photos. Your dad's back in town.
That's right, Virginia.
Oh, good. The ladies are going to be happy.
Him and Denny's are the first that got to sit in my lobby.
Oh, they did? Okay.
Yeah.
Is there waiting for you? Is that what happens? Do you tell people to be like, yeah,
Take a number.
Mr. Pennington will see you shortly, and then they sit and wait?
I want to get some cucumber water, so when you're waiting there, you sign in a little sheet.
Maybe we can get those things like you have at the deli counter at Publix. Yes, here's your number.
For whatever reason, that part of my house just looked like a lobby to me, so I said, why the heck not? Let's turn into a lobby.
And you love it?
I do love it.
So that's all that matters. You make yourself happy.
Yes.
Your home should be a little nest, a sanctuary where you go and you just get peace and you're like,
Yes.
Well, if you want to see that photo, it's on the KVJ Show Facebook page. Lots of things for you to check out. We are on Facebook, Instagram. We got the Twitter going on, soon going to TikTok. And we right now are streaming on the free 97.9 WRMF app. Would love for you to download that, register, and start listening so you could win $1,000. Giving away some massive cash and a South Florida staycation this week. So go and stream, download, and register to win right now.
It's the KVJ dirt of the day. It's the KVJ dirt of the day. Virginia, take it away, cause you know we need that dirt of the day.
It looks like Britney Spears' conservatorship drama now could end up in Congress. There are representatives in Congress that have sent a letter to the House Judiciary Chairman requesting a hearing on the issue of Britney's situation. They say that too many Americans are being taken advantage of in these court-devised conservatorships, and they argue that not just Britney, but many others are possibly being forced to work and then pay money to the machine and kind of held against their will. They say also, too, like elderly people are in this situation a lot of times, too. They don't have any say because they're in a conservatorship or a guardianship where their children are in control of the finances. And yeah, they say if someone is able to function, even with therapy, they should be able to on their own.
Okay.
It's got to be annoying if you're the parent and the kid's controlling the money and you're like, no, I'm fine. You can't control that.
Yeah, I think that's what they're saying.
Yeah.
These two representatives in Congress are saying, look, Brittany's not the only one going through this. This is a problem for young people, old people, all kinds of people. So let's look at it and see if we can help change the laws for court-devised conservatorships.
Okay.
And I think that's healthy.
Look at that. Britney's changing the world.
Brittany, you go, girl. Here's a little bit of Dua Lipa. You know, she is up for 6 Grammys this weekend. That is major.
Okay.
Is she British?
Yes, she is.
Okay, I thought I heard a
No,
hint.
she's faking.
I couldn't tell if that was British or British Light. I heard a hint of British.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got a little different, dabbles of ethnicity in there, but yeah, she's British.
She is very cute, too. Adorable. Steven Spielberg is going to be doing a film based on his own life. They say Michelle Williams will play his mother, and it'll loosely be based on his life growing up in Arizona as a child, kind of behind the scenes, what his whole thing was all about. So that could be a fascinating new movie. And that's what's going on in your Dirt of the Day.
It's time for viral audio.
So hide your kids, hide your wife.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Well, this is kind of a nice little warm, fuzzy way to start off your day. Some audio here of best friends separated by the Holocaust got to reunite after 82 years.
In 1939, we said goodbye to one another, and it was very difficult then because we were best friends, you know. Her name was Annemarie Wauenberg, and I never knew what happened to her, and I'm always wondering if maybe she's somewhere and she can hear this. And as soon as she started talking with me and I talked with her, there was a connection there. It's not like, oh my goodness, who's this old lady over there?
How about that, huh?
That's something else.
Beautiful.
That's pretty cool. So you never say never. So after 82 years, they got back together as best friends. It's very cool.
The KVJ Show on 97.9 WRMF.
What are you thinking about? What are you thinking about? What's on your mind? Are you thinking about? What are you thinking about?
What you think about today, Jay Bird?
A McDonald's in Chicago is using AI to take drive-through orders, and we have a clip of what it sounded like. And I guess if people like it and they think it's working good, you're going to start hearing this kind of stuff through drive-throughs. Tell me if you think it's creepy or not.
Welcome to McDonald's. We're currently serving a limited menu, so please review the menu before ordering. Let me know what I can get for you.
Can I get 2 medium Oreo McFlurries?
All right. Would you like anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Your total will be $6.58. Please pull forward.
Dang.
So that's in real time, too, by the way. The pauses, how long it would take you.
Yeah.
Why does the robot have to sound like it's trying to quietly plot my murder? We can't get robots sound a little bit more, not like this. Oh, yes, please walk into this room, Virginia.
That sounds creepy.
It sounds
Yeah.
like it's up to no good. Why does the robot have to sound like that? We can't make a happy, hey, guys, welcome to McDonald's.
They
Something.
probably eventually will.
Why can't it be Grimace?
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about things that, haven't been invented yet. Why are we not able to have a voice that sounds very friendly and not as murderous?
Yeah. That's a good comment.
I don't know if I like it. I'm not a big I don't like the self-checkout place. I think for people like me, you feel like everyone's watching you. And they are. They are actually watching your every move because they want to get there. And that pressure of, oh boy, that guy is burning a hole through my back because he wants to get over here. I don't want that pressure.
You're the kind of guy that needs to go in the lane where the cashier does most of the work.
I want to talk to the person. I want to maybe see, oh, is that an Almond Joy? Yeah, I think I'll try an Almond Joy today. I
You
want to
need
take
that.
my time.
You need more of a relaxed transaction. There is a lot of pressure at the self-serve because there is a Karen right behind you in line wondering why you don't have your money out and why you're not ready and why you're not this.
Am I in the minority on that? Do most people like the self-checkout, or do people like the experience I'm talking about where they can take their time, they can...
Well, I have a 5-year-old, and he's obsessed with self-checkout because he gets to scan all the items, and the Karens look at me like, ugh, your kid's taking forever. I just don't care.
And then if you're doing the self-checkout, sometimes there's a problem, and now it's a to-do.
You can't buy a gift card. You can't. It's like limitations on what you can buy. If you buy alcohol, they got to come over and they got to scan the ID to say you're of age.
I know the robot stuff is, it's on its way. It's going to happen. But is it the right move?
I think it's all a question of how people accept it. Right now, you see a little bit of both. If you go into a Whole Foods, in a lot of places, you'll have both. Live cashier, you'll have some of the other. Probably it'll start that way with AI because obviously they got to, get a voice that's not so dang creepy. Yes. And they got to improve the experience. Probably 5 to 10 years away from going to places where you won't be able to find a human that's going to interact with you at all.
I would say by the time Rocco is in his 30s, dating a robot is going to be commonplace, and you're going to start seeing humans and robots have legit relationships where there's going to be marriages, and it's all going to get intertwined, robots and humans. By the time Rocco's 30, quote me now. That's all I got.
Okay. Jay Bird has spoken, speaking on the future. What you got on your mind today, Virginia?
I'm struggling with something like during this whole COVID time. And so, I love doing crawfish. I love it's crawfish season right now. It just started back up again. And so at least once a month, I like to get live crawfish and boil them up and have a little party. But, you're not supposed to have parties. I had an outdoor party for Mardi Gras, and some people were like judging the party and saying you shouldn't be doing that, and I get that. And then some people were mad at me because I didn't invite them. Now, if I invited everybody that I know that loves crawfish, I would have 300 people in my yard. So how do you navigate wanting to do what you want to do and have a party in your yard and not make, I don't know, 10 or 15 of your friends mad that they didn't get invited?
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know how to do it without,
right.
There's people now that I am friends with that are K-ing me on text message because they're mad that they didn't get an invite to the Mardi Gras party.
How's it going? How you doing? K. That's all they send you back.
You know what that means.
Oh, if you're in the doghouse. If anyone throws a K at you as a text, you're done.
That means they're mad at you. And I know they're mad at me because they didn't get an invite to the Mardi Gras party because I didn't want it to be 300 people in the yard.
Right.
But I catch so much flack every time I do crawfish now from people that I didn't personally invite. And I feel weird and bad because I never want to leave anybody out.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't want to be the girl in the neighborhood that's having the super spreader.
Is there a functional way? It sounded like you had a good system where you were leaving crawfish for people at the end of the driveway and they would come pick it up.
I did.
You'd
I was
have your
doing
separation.
that. I was doing that last season. I might have to go back to that.
What if you just...
I felt like a drive-through, though. It began to feel like I was the drive-through, and it was just... all the fun of the crawfish boil is like sitting around eating the crawfish together.
Yeah.
And so it felt empty and hollow. But yeah, you might be right.
What if you just threw the party and didn't talk about it and didn't post about it? You just you did your thing, and I mean, I know we live in a time where you got to post everything.
I'm okay with that too.
Because isn't it going to open up to where, I mean, I'm hearing, and I'm not to turn this into a COVID conversation,
sure,
but I'm hearing things about no masks soon. Is that real? Is that
I
fake?
think they're saying if you get the vaccine, like you can assemble without masks.
I'm hearing things like it's about to get back to normal, but is that a lie?
It's getting there. But they just had those CDC guidelines we went over on the show yesterday where they, were still saying that if you have the vaccine, that you could congregate with a small group of other people that are vaccinated without masks, but they still would like for you to stay outdoors. If you are exposed to somebody that has COVID and you have the vaccine, they say you don't need to do that quarantining anymore. Those are some of the guidelines they had. So they're starting to get there and open it up a little bit, but we're right now in the state of Florida, just over 9% of the population that's received both vaccination shots. So we still have a ways to go. So that's just it. But every week, every month, I think you'll see things starting to loosen up a little bit more and more. So as people are trying to figure it out, I do feel like there is a more cavalier attitude towards COVID. There's some confidence that's out there growing.
Well, we have a few events this weekend. The one I'm talking about is that Irish festival we're doing. Is that
Saturday?
Is that something where the entire public can come out? You have to wear a mask? What's the rules on something like that?
So it's a fenced event with admission where you pay to get in, and there are CDC regulations being enforced.
Okay.
Masks required, all that good stuff.
Question is how well and how thoroughly they enforce it. There are some events you go to, you may be required to wear a mask to go in, but then once they have food and beverage, the masks come right off. Then people don't put them on when they're done eating or drinking, and they just keep walking around.
It's hard to drink your green beer and corned beef and cabbage with a mask on.
Can we talk about how gross that combination is? Corned beef and cabbage and green beer is a good way to get the sweat poops.
Yeah, so it depends upon what the place is. And you don't know until you get there, and that's the challenge. I can tell you at Disney, they enforce it. They've got people walking around, and if your mask comes off for a second, they're like, hey, please have a Disney day and put your mask back on. So they are like that. They got my daughter. She had hers down underneath her nose, and they were like, hey, got to put your mask up.
Wow.
Minnie Mouse actually came over and like cross-checked her and said, put your mask on.
They will.
Wow.
They will cross-check you. So it depends on where you go. I don't know what we're going to have on Saturday, but we're going to be out there, and we'll see what happens. So that Irish Fest is going on in the Abacoa Town Center. We're going to be there. Is it 11:30? I still don't know if I've heard confirmation.
We're going to be there, Kevin.
Okay.
It's anywhere from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., somewhere during that time.
I've never seen an event where it's so hard to get the time you're there. At some point, we're going to be there.
I think the machine got rusty during our year-long break, and they can't figure out what time we're showing up. And I think by they, it means us. Like, our employees can't figure it out.
I'm going to be rusty. I've been doing a public appearance in over a year. I got to dust this thing off.
Yeah. Might face the crowd with turned around, or I didn't even know.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you do?
I mean, how do you turn this microphone on? What's going on here?
What I got on my mind here today is, seems like every single day we got a story about somebody else stepping in it, and you just sit back and say, okay, how bad is this going to be? I don't know. One of the Miami Heat players, Miles Leonard, stepped in it, and he was just playing a video game on Monday night, and he dropped a word that is an anti-Semitic slur that he says that he wasn't even aware is an anti-Semitic slur. On the video, of course, everybody can capture it, and when you're playing a Miami Heat player, you're going to probably roll tape or whatever they do when you're playing video games. He used an F word, not a problem, but he said SNIPE. And that is an anti-Semitic slur that he is unaware of. And of course, that got out there. He was playing Call of Duty. And so he issued an apology on Tuesday. And he said that he was unaware of how offensive it is to the Jewish community. He said, I am now more aware of its meaning, and I am committed to properly seeking out people who can help educate me about this type of hate and how we can fight it. So he said, this is a learning moment. Sorry, I didn't even know that that was a word. And
I didn't either. Say it again.
You spelled it.
Spell it.
SNIPE, snipe. He said, don't bleeping snipe at me, you bleeping bee. So it wasn't the profanity, it was the word snipe.
Huh, I had no idea.
I never in a million years would have ever known that's an
I would have
offensive
thought it
term.
was short for like sniper.
Yes.
Well, you know, the thing that is tricky about this, and I think we're all trying to figure out where things are set, and hey, look, I'm not driving the train when it comes to cancel culture or anything like that. I believe in learning, and if people are legitimately like, hey, I'm sorry, like I've said before, there are many words that I have learned that I didn't realize had bad connotation, and maybe to some people it makes them feel bad. I don't want to do that, so I'm like, I'll make a note to myself to not say it. I appreciate the fact that I don't get canceled when you make an honest mistake when things like that happen, and so I don't know what the fallout will be, if any, and maybe there won't be, because he sounds sincerely apologetic, and a word that, you're right, a lot of people may not realize is a word that you shouldn't use. And I was actually reading an article that they come out with. It was like 11 words that are based in racism, things like that, you know, and the weird thing about it was, I think I was reading this maybe on Saturday, and one of the terms was uppity. And it was why uppity has racial connotations. And then I watched Coming to America, the sequel, and they used it like 2 or 3 times in that. And they used it in a way that how you would think, you know, don't
Who
be an
is
uppity bee.
disparaging?
I don't remember I can look it up real quick.
I thought uppity just meant you're trying to pretend like you're fancy, and we all know you're not.
Yeah, to me, that's the other thing that I would say. Yeah, self-important, arrogant. That's what a lot of people, you know, look at today. And that's the one thing that I would tell some people with some language, something like that. And language
I don't think
changes.
uppity doesn't mean any specific group or race or creed or religion. I think it just, anybody can pretend to be uppity, right? Like,
Yeah, they say, and just Googled a real quick article here from the Atlantic on it, and they even had talked about, Obama had said it one time, but when applied to black people has racist connotations. And so, yeah, if you go back in the history, there's just so many words and terms, and there was several in there, and I have to try to find that article. I can let you know some of the words, because I was like, whoa, I had no idea that had any kind of racist connotation. And so to me, if somebody drops one of those that, where things have kind of changed and you don't realize, like, I don't use the word that way. I didn't even know it had racist connotations.
Some people are saying that that's not the word he got in trouble for, that snipe's not the word. It was a different word.
Oh, boy.
Somebody's saying he used K-I-K-E in the
that
text.
is absolutely a terrible term.
Yeah, I don't know.
of.
I'm going off of what the Sun Sentinel wrote, so that's what I saw in their article.
A snipe is a wading bird.
I don't think snipe's the word.
Okay. He
Yes.
used K-I-K-E.
Yeah, in that's a terrible word.
Okay. Yeah, and that one, you might say, okay, how do you not know that one?
I was over here going, what, snipe? What?
Yeah.
It's very confusing to try to stay aware. And can we now not use uppity? Because I know people of every race that pretend to have money and act all uppity, and they don't.
That's where I would just say, I think on some of these words, there may be things that you can say. Remember that had kind of stepped into it with the gator bait thing they were talking about for the University of Florida, and they stopped using that. And that was the thing where some people said, yeah, it may have started in racist connotation, but they feel like it's gravitated now and nobody knows it as that.
Yeah,
so
I didn't know that.
Yeah, what do we do with terms and things like that? That it's changed.
That's tricky. You got to stay up on a lot of stuff.
To
not be offensive, you really do have to research every day because it kind of changes every day.
Well, the good news is at least, because the snipe made me feel weird, because I go, well, that I'd never even have heard of that.
Snipe is slang for to hunt or shoot. To snipe, like a sniper.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's the other word.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he said snipe
that-
at me, bleep. Oh, okay, yeah, because they didn't spell it out here in the story, and it made it confusing for me. Sorry. It said, yeah, snipe at me, effing, yeah, and then he used the K word, B. And then that's what he had said in that. Yeah, so that was the word.
Me and Virginia were like,
Snipe? They took snipe?
The problem is now, the Sun Sentinel doesn't want to write it out because they don't want to get in trouble. And then when I read it, it made it confusing to me because they didn't spell it out. And I'm like, okay, well, which word is it? Okay, yeah, so he used K-I-K-E then is, I guess, what it was.
That at least makes me feel better, because I'm over here thinking, man, what words are out there that I have no idea?
And I was like, I've never used snipe.
Yeah.
That's good, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
And maybe that's what it is when it comes to how upset people get about this is, how prevalent is the word that you should or should not use. And then, sometimes you can just look at people and be like, they really didn't know.
Well,
They
again,
didn't mean to.
I'm a big
Give them a little bit
believer
of forgiveness.
of where did it come from? Where is the person coming from?
Yeah. So, and there you go. So, yeah. So that'll be the question. I don't know exactly what will come of that, but that's where it is right now. The Miami Heat distancing themselves, of course, from his comment. And I guess we'll just see what comes to of Miles Leonard from the Miami Heat.
Whatever happened to the country dude? I always forget his name.
Morgan Wallen.
Is he still canceled?
He's still selling so many records.
He broke a record for having the longest #1 album. He's still #1.
This
in
is
the country.
after the
This is
scandal.
This is current.
He said the word, he got canceled, and then he went on an 8-week run at #1.
So is he not? He's not canceled.
I don't know if that's canceled. Could I get canceled?
You could never even sniff the success of Morgan Wallen.
Is that proof that you really actually can't cancel somebody?
Well, I mean, in a sense, he's still pulled from most radio stations. I think his hometown country station in Knoxville, Tennessee started playing his music again, but I still think that other places have.
He's a local boy. We're forgiving him.
Yeah,
I
he's
guess-
still on that you're in timeout.
And there's different, I guess, definitions of what canceled could mean. If he's getting advertised, if he's losing endorsements, I guess that's canceling from a certain point of view.
And you can be canceled too, like in the public opinion.
Yes.
But still not where it hurts in the pocketbook.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's it. You know, with some of these words there, and somebody just texted in and said, I'm 44. I'd never heard of that K word being a bad slur to Jews. And so, you know, and that's just it. You know, are there some people that just, they're terms that you don't hear a lot, you
Yes.
don't know.
There
and
really
you say
are.
something that-
Absolutely.
yeah. So that's just it. To me, with this whole thing that's out there, is take it case by case and look at the person and their past and what you think. And look, if they are sincerely saying, like, I'm sorry, and if they can go on and not continue to use that word, then be like, okay, they stepped in it. Give them a chance to get out and breathe a little bit and make penance.
Go after them, their mother, her mother, or go the other way. That seems to happen too.
So
If
anyway.
you're gonna try to cancel somebody.
Yeah, we'll see what's going on with that. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, Virginia was talking about where she is trying to have her crawfish parties, but it's kind of interesting. They did a survey on where people are now. We're pretty much right at 1 year since things locked down. Virginia, you said it was March 11th?
March 11th.
Of
So tomorrow,
2020, yeah.
that's when I locked it down.
Right. So they kind of looked at the behaviors that we started to take on at the end of March last year compared to where we are this year. And there's a lot of precautions that we started to take that we just don't do at all now. I'll let you know what they are coming up next. Okay, got a few celebrity birthdays today. Carrie Underwood turns 38 today.
You like her now, right? You didn't like her back in the day.
She's okay.
I think Virginia's got a thing against blonde
Yeah,
women.
she does.
I don't know, something.
Blonde country singers, hates them all.
You may
That's not true.
You may not
Taylor
even
Swift.
realize it, but you're always downing on blonde.
How do you feel about Taylor Swift?
I'm not a big fan. Damn. I just had a moment of clarity.
You don't like blonde women.
John Hamm turns 50. Sharon Stone is now 63. And Chuck Norris turning 81 today. Happy birthday to them. Also, happy 8th birthday to our beauty queen, Paisley. There's a photo of her. Katie had sent that in.
Aw.
Yeah.
Great shoes on that kid.
Right?
Wow, those are awesome.
Got the photo on Kvj TV on YouTube. Also, happy 4th birthday to Izzy from Mom, Dad, Nico, and Alex.
Aw.
And a photo of her, too.
Cutie.
That's an artsy picture. It's nice.
Mm-hmm. That looking off into the distance.
Yeah.
Not easy to get a 4-year-old to do something like that. And also wanted to wish my boyfriend Igor a happy birthday today. Not sure how that might go either way. From Steven, Kit Kat, and Famke. All from the family in New Jersey.
Kit Kat's, is that the pet's name? Oh, I hope it's the kid's name, but if it's that's a great name.
I named my child Kit Kat.
It's a Kit Kat Pennington. It sounds amazing.
Also, a happy birthday shout out to my mom, Michelle, who raised me listening to the KVJ show every morning on the way to school since I was little. From Connor, Ruben, Morgan, Rascal, and Riley.
Aw.
So there you go. Got a birthday? You want to get it on the KVJ show? You can let us know. Mail at kvjshow.com. MAIL at kvjshow.com. Okay, so how do you tell your kids that you're getting divorced? Got an email from somebody looking for a little bit of guidance of maybe somebody that has been through it. They say, I'm getting a divorce. My husband and I realize that there is nothing that we have in common except for our 2 boys, ages 8 and 10. And so far, things have been amicable between us. Our biggest concern remains the boys, but how do we tell them? I've heard some people say that if you're at the point of getting a divorce, that your kids already know. Now, maybe I'm being completely naive, but they really don't seem to have any clue whatsoever if there's any kind of issues.
Aww.
My husband and I don't really ever fight, and we definitely would never fight in front of the boys. So what do? Do you sit them down and have a talk and then, take them for ice cream and then, hey, let's go watch Dad pack and move out? I looked online. I found 5 different experts giving 5 different opinions on how to handle this. So I'd like to hear somebody with some experience of maybe what worked and what didn't work. Virginia, having been there once before, is there anything that you did, a way that you went about it? Do you have both together, parents? Do you do one at a time?
Well,
How
I
does
was
this go
lucky, when I got separated from Mags's dad, she was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And so I didn't have to have the talk with an 8 and a 10-year-old. That's tough, man, because an 8 and a 10-year-old, they know what's up. They know what's going on, and you got to explain to them. Magnolia didn't understand. She was a baby.
Right.
And I think I had it a lot easier, honestly, because having to explain that, the family is splitting up, that's tough to an 8 and a 10-year-old. When I was 14, 15, my parents went through it. And I remember just being devastated and rocked, and like everything is like just hemorrhaging. It's a rough feeling.
That's why you have a tough time listening to that Kenny Loggins song. I did it for you.
It's a good song though.
It's a good song.
It's
about
a great
divorce.
song. The Real Thing, it's called, by Kenny Loggins. The Real Thing.
It gets the witch real emotional.
Oh, I'll start crying because it's true.
Never see a witch cry? It's not something you want to see.
Black tears, Kevin.
I imagine that any kid who is a child of divorce remembers vividly the conversation and how they got it. Like, just even looking in the chat room, somebody said, when my parents were getting divorced, my dad, his choice, had an affair, picked me up early from school when I was in the first grade, brought me to Burger King, got my favorite meal, and then bombshelled me. So that from first grade, they're remembering as an adult what it was like. And so dad's like, oh, I'll get the kid his favorite meal at Burger King, and that'll make it better as I give him some terrible news.
You kind of wonder, too, did that actually make his favorite meal turn into the worst meal ever? Now
Right. Now when you get it.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want a Whopper.
You
Dad.
ruined Whoppers,
You
Dad.
ruined Whoppers for me.
Thanks.
The divorce burger.
Yeah, I think you better eat something terrible when you're receiving bad news.
Tell them at home. Tell them with both of you together. I don't think one parent should be delivering the blow. I think both parents have to be there. You have to lay out what's going to happen. You have to explain to them, either dad's moving out or mom's moving out. Okay, well, where's dad going to live? Okay, well, will I have a room there? What will every week look like? Where will I be spending time? Who's going to take me to school? Who's going to pick me up? Like, think about it in terms of that kid.
Mm-hmm. One piece of advice that somebody's texting in right now saying that one important part of this is to let the kids ask questions, whatever they need to get off their chest and whatever they need to say. Try to be that sounding board and let them ask, because they will have questions about, wait, what's going on? Why? Why is this? What's going to happen? What is my life going to look like now? What's going on with you guys?
How many more presents am I getting for Christmas?
You do get more presents, kids. That should be noted.
Do I get 2 birthday cakes for my birthday?
So maybe start laying out the positives. Okay, we got good news and bad news. We want to get to the good news first. You're going to start getting double presents for birthdays and for Christmas. You're going to get double cakes.
Yeah.
That is, and the kids are going to be like, this is amazing, and your mom and I are divorcing.
Wait,
what?
I played baseball with a kid. His parents got divorced, and he was always bragging. He's like, my parents got divorced, but I got 2 birthdays. I have 2 Christmases. It ain't that bad.
Okay, so do the positives first. Hit them with all the doubles that they're going to start getting. Maybe that's the way to do it. Somebody said, my parents told me together, and then they said, hey, and we're going to the New Kids on the Block concert. I was 9, and it was 1990.
And you all went to the concert together?
I guess so.
But just now, when you hear the right stuff, does that make you think your parents splitting up? That would have ruined that band for me.
Well, not that big of a loss.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Another piece of advice, somebody said, please, please, please tell the kids it is not their fault. Kids will have a tendency to blame themselves or see what role they played in this. They have to clearly walk away with the understanding of knowing that they had nothing to do with the reason why you're splitting up.
Kids will think that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So that's a good little piece of advice. Cam is on here from Palm Beach Gardens. She is a child of divorce. And let's see, do you have any advice here for this emailer about how you tell your kids that you are getting a divorce, Cam?
Hey, good morning. I would tell you that, first of all, I am a child of divorce, and I am also divorced. I got divorced when my divorce went through when my kids were in elementary school. And I would just say be very, very sure that you want to get divorced, because I know I got divorced kind of frivolously. I thought, that my needs were what needed to be met. And honestly, my kids are 21 and 17 now, and they still remember every song that was on the radio, everything that happened that day. And it was like their family ended that day. So, just be really careful and sure you know what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, she had said even in this email that it was just like we don't have anything in common except for the fact that we have 2 kids. And I'll tell you, I think that at some point or another throughout the course of a family and a marriage, and if you do have children, you may have that feeling where you're like, we don't have anything in common anymore except the fact that we have 2 kids. I think it's something you do have to always work on. And sometimes, like she had said, maybe some people think their marriages are completely dead, and it's not actually dead.
It's only dead because you haven't worked on it.
Right.
And maybe it's just temporarily flopping around, but if you actually did a little love work, you may revive it.
People are answering the questions too. They're like, yeah, to answer your question, Jay Bird, yes, it ruined chicken nuggets for me for a long time, but thank goodness for cheeseburgers. So yeah, if you're eating a great meal during terrible news, I think you're ruining that great meal for that child.
So do you serve the kid like liver and lima beans?
Definitely raw onions and ice cubes.
Okay.
Don't ruin chicken nuggets. Don't ruin cheeseburgers. Don't ruin Whoppers, but you can ruin New Kids on the Block.
And somebody want to know, what was that Kenny Loggins song again you're talking about?
The Real Thing.
I did it for you.
It starts out, Amanda, I know what you're thinking. Ugh.
They used to play it all the time on Sunny 104.3 when it was 104.3. And that was it was such a depressing, slow song, and I turn it up real loud.
He's singing it to his kids. It's singing it to his kids. I did it for you and the boys because love should teach you joy and not the imitation that your mama and daddy tried to show you.
Uh-oh, that witch gonna cry.
Damn,
Don't
that's
you cry, witch.
Deep.
Come on, it's Kenny Loggins. Of course it's deep.
Kenny. Oh.
Yeah, I think Virginia might be going through something. She told me that she cried 3 times yesterday, and I can't wait to find out why coming up here. Yeah.
3 separate times. Okay. 3 separate things.
Do not. She would definitely cry with that Kenny Loggins song.
If you play that song, I will lose it.
Maybe I'll have to come back from commercial with that.
I will lose it.
We'll make it 4 in 24 hours. Why is Virginia crying so much? We'll find out next.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Apparently, there are a lot of people that have a divorce song, not just that one from Kenny Loggins that makes Virginia cry. Somebody said my divorce song was Philip Phillips's Home. It definitely always makes me misty when I hear it.
That one's pretty depressing.
And somebody said, have you heard the Highway 20 Ride by the Zac Brown Band? Yeah, that is one of those songs that makes you cry, too, thinking about it. Kind of a story about divorce and whatnot.
I'll tell you what's a good one about divorce. Secret lovers, that's what we are. About secret loving, it ain't good.
It's about divorce?
Well, it's about stepping out, yeah. I would say.
It's about cheating, right?
Well, all right, I guess it's kind of off topic. I'm sorry.
He just wanted to show off his R&B stylings.
Okay. All right.
I see you. We know.
I thought Kevin was getting to like a divorce song topic. I thought I was helping.
Well, Virginia, you say that you cried 3 times yesterday. You were about ready to choke up a second ago. What the heck is going on? What are you crying about?
I am an emotional wreck right now. I don't know if I'm PMSing or going through the change of life or both.
What's the moon like out?
Good question. I know it's not a full moon.
Yeah, so we got to eliminate the moon activity. You get squirrely around a full moon.
I do. You're right. So yesterday I was looking at Little Smiles videos early in the day, and I started crying because we're getting ready for the Stars Ball on Saturday.
That makes sense.
That made me start crying.
Yeah.
Then I went home to have my lunch and catch up on The Bachelor. You know, The Bachelor comes on Monday night.
Okay.
But I can't watch it on Monday night because it goes on too late. So I watch it on Tuesday. And that Bachelor, Matt James, grew up without a dad. But they invited him, the dad, to have a sit down with Matt so Matt could tell him about all of his shortcomings as a father and how it affected him and his ability to not love in relationships.
Oh, wow.
and they blindsided the dad. The dad thought he was coming on ABC, network television, to talk about how happy he was for his son to be the bachelor. And they blindsided him with how he was a bad dad.
Oh, jeez.
So were you crying because you felt bad for the dad?
No, I was crying because it got so real and raw and emotional. And the dad, at first, tried to argue, but then it eventually owned it. And then he started crying. And then they eventually got to a place where the dad admitted he was a bad dad. It was deep.
Oh, my goodness.
So I was looking on Twitter. So many people were commenting about it, saying, this feels like it should have been a private conversation. I can't believe ABC put this on TV, but I love it.
But I love it.
And that was kind of how I felt, too.
A lot of people are saying you might need some chocolate, and I support a chocolate party, and I can get chocolate to you very quickly.
Okay.
Now, it's not fancy chocolate, but I can get it to you.
I'll take your drugstore chocolate.
All right, okay.
Could be something to look into.
And then the last thing that made me cry, Magnolia had her very first ever track meet yesterday, where she went and competed in all the track and field, and she was so pumped and so jazzed. And there's kids from all over, Martin County, Palm Beach County, a bunch of different schools were represented. It was up at South Fork High School. And there was this one race, I don't remember what it was, maybe the 800 or whatever, and all these boys are running around the track. And there's one little guy who apparently, I think, has developmental issues, but he was giving it his all. And he had been lapped already, they had already done a complete lap around him, but he was not giving up. And his coaches... and all the parents were standing and cheering, and they were all screaming his name. And I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. It was so beautiful that they were all cheering, and all the parents were crying. And I'm like, this is a mess.
That was a beautiful moment, though.
It was so beautiful, but I could not hold it together.
I'll give you a pass on that. The Bachelor, but you know.
Do you want a Kit Kat or a Butterfinger?
A Butterfinger.
Okay, I'll get you that.
Do you think you're crying because are you PMSing?
I think so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. So
according to my notes, it should be around this time.
It's a lot. There's a lot going on.
Oh boy.
What else is going on? Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Well,
all right.
That's all I can talk about.
Oh, there's more.
You had 2 of 3 good reasons to cry.
You don't agree with The Bachelor?
No,
you need to go watch
can't
that clip.
defend that.
Anybody who hasn't seen it, just go watch it. I'm sure they pulled it out and have just extrapolated the sit down between Matt James and his dad. It is crazy intense. And when you're watching it, you're like, oh boy, I feel like I'm in a therapy session and I shouldn't be here.
Let's not skip the chocolate. Let's add on to the chocolate. You need some breakfast in you. You need some pancakes and some French toast sticks.
Ooh.
Seriously, do you want to do breakfast today?
I do.
Okay, all right. Let's
finally. Finally won.
All right, Suits, we're doing breakfast, kid. I love
The
it.
bird's excited.
Let's turn your pain into some fun.
I can always get Jaybird on Team PMS. Let's eat.
Okay.
Well, it's the remedy.
All right, prepare to be wowed here for World Record Wednesday. Jaybird is going to be going after the world record today, as it appears in Guinness for the most raw eggs, unbroken and uncracked, caught in the mouth in 1 minute. The record is 18. So they can't have any cracks. They got to be unbroken. You got 1 minute. 18 is the number. Usually KVJ respectable somewhere about the halfway mark.
Keep in mind, this is a very, very difficult challenge.
Yeah.
We may have to lower the bar for KVJ respectable.
Okay. Let's do a third then.
This show lowers the bar a lot.
Don't you think it's kind of difficult? I mean,
yeah, I do.
It's difficult.
Instead of half, let's go a third.
I can walk out of here and go to bed tonight
if you get 6.
with a peaceful mind if I get a half a dozen.
Yeah, that would be getting 1 egg unbroken and uncracked every 10 seconds.
And I think we're going to go at our tosser is going to be the Weepy Witch, I think.
Okay.
I think she's
going to throw eggs and tears?
If we don't make it, do I just crumble into
You'll
a pile?
start crying, yeah.
I will say this. We did a little practice run with ping pong balls during commercial, and it went pretty bad, but not as bad as I thought it was going to go. So there's positivity here.
Well, you got to have a good toss, and then you have to have a gentle mouth and soft teeth.
Soft teeth, not a good thing in life.
You're
but
right.
in this game,
Great thing.
I think I got hard teeth.
you got a tiny little baby mouth, too.
I got that bam. I got that bitch ass mouth.
You need a big fish mouth to play.
No, I got this. I'm gonna open it up.
Show me. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Do the work.
Hurt yourself?
Yeah.
Open
Pull
your
the
mouth?
muscle.
Hurt himself opening his mouth.
I pulled a back head muscle. How does that happen?
You're like an old person. One wrong move.
All right, come on. Same
All right,
team.
sorry.
Let's go.
Okay, what do you think? Over, under, Suits, we're going to go with 6. Are you going over or under that, Mark? Suits is going under.
Of course.
Damn.
Of course, that's what Reek is going to say.
Suits is reality.
Virginia, you're part of it. What do you think?
I mean, I'm the tosser. I feel good about my skill level. I'm going over.
The Weeping Witch is staying over.
Okay.
Maybe I'm just too in it.
I respect this. I think it's going to be really tough. I think you'll get 5. I'm going to go under. It's tough. It's tough. This is a tough one.
Back in 2007, I think he would have believed in me more.
Your boss doesn't believe in you. Have fun at
It's
work.
been 14 years of failure.
I failed so.
My faith is slipping.
I failed so much. He's like, dude, I don't feel good about this.
Denny's, you going over or under?
To the moon with this one.
Yeah, Denny's, yeah, to the moon. We're going to the moon.
We only have 24 eggs. Denny's says we do 25.
Okay, here we go. This is it. World Record Wednesday. If you're watching right now on Kvj TV, it's the most raw eggs, unbroken and uncracked, caught in the mouth in 1 minute. The number is 18. KVJ respectable, set at 6. All right.
It's exciting, no?
Yeah.
Virginia's the tosser. She is about 5 feet away. All right. Virginia looks ready. Bird, you ready?
I am ready. Toss me now. You got to toss or toss it up.
Okay.
Got to the arc. The arc.
All right. On your mark, get set, and go. First one is up and out of the mouth. Way over the head on that one. So we missed the first 2. The third one pings off the mouth and is gone. The fourth one's caught, but it breaks. The 5th one bounces off the face. 6th one is off the teeth and out. 6th gone. That bounces out of the mouth. That bounces off the mouth. That one bounces off the mouth. Another one bounces off his face. This one has gone in his mouth and out. That one is caught, and if it's not broken, we got 1. Okay. We have 2, I guess we could go with. The third one breaks on his mouth. 4th one hits him in the eye. This one bounces off his head. He's arcing another one that's up and out. Okay, we got a best 2, and you're down to 15 seconds now. Another one bounces off the mouth. That bounces off his forehead and breaks. He's got egg all in his hair now. Egg is running down his face. He catches it, but that one breaks in his mouth. He's down to 5 seconds. And the eggs are gone. He went through 24 eggs, ran out with 4 seconds left. Jaybird's mouth is bleeding. He's got egg dripping down his face. It's in his hair, all over his unicorn outfit. And at best, we have a 2. And Denny's, can you inspect the 2 eggs to see if either one of those is uncracked and unbroken?
Unfortunately, I think they're both.
Okay, so we got a total of 0 in 1 minute. We do have blood.
Oh, my lip hurts so bad.
Yeah. He took many off the mouth, teeth, and face. Took 1 in the eye that looked like it really hurt. That looked like that would have smarted as well. You should have a very painful face.
Does anybody have
Nose.
any Excedrin? Got a bit of a headache.
Yeah.
Ironic that you promised me breakfast, yet broke all these eggs, and I still don't have an omelet.
You broke my lip. You not only have you hurt my private parts before in a bit, now you've ruined my lip.
What do you think was the bigger problem? Was it, do you feel like you weren't just catching right, Bird, or was it in the throes of the eggs?
She threw a couple really hard that stunned me.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like I never recovered from the stunning.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I was just trying to get...
You're seeing stars. You're trying to regroup.
Bloody stars,
Yeah.
yes. Wow, I feel like I'm going to have, like, road rash on my lip now.
Virginia, do you feel like it was your throwing or was the catching that was the problem here in this World Record Wednesday? We wound up with a 0 spot.
I feel like the throwing was on point, Kevin.
You do? Okay.
Now, when you say that,
Definitely.
is it the line drive you threw over my head that I almost hit the speaker over here? Because that was alarming too.
Wow.
I can't tell if it's tooth remnants or if it's shell.
Damn, we shattered a tooth.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, unfortunately, that was a tough record. That did not come out well.
We didn't even get one?
Yeah, no, it did not get one. We got a 0. 18 is a very safe record.
Damn.
At least with this crew.
I feel a little stunned.
Chambers looks so dazed.
You just got hit in the face 24 times.
Hard.
Yeah.
Dude, that was hard.
That'll leave a man spinning.
We got a spinning unicorn in here. Okay. How you doing over there, Bird? You recovering nicely?
Just a little tired.
Yeah.
I know people, again, oh, Bird's such a drama queen. Take 24 eggs to the face with the witch throwing them at you. Let's see how you feel.
Yeah. You're a little
I thought
dazed.
my arc was good.
It is if you were trying to knock someone out.
She almost did. So what exactly is a gender bomb? I don't know. This email, I guess, explains it. Somebody wants to know if they should step in here and drop it. It says in the email, I'm friends with somebody who is transgender. She had the operation 2 years ago. She was a man, but no longer is. She just started talking to another really good friend of mine, and this really good friend of mine is a straight male and has no idea that my friend once was a male. I know for a fact that my straight friend would want to know about this, and I'm telling you, my straight friend has no idea. My transgender friend is telling my other friend and not telling them anything about her past. She said that it should only matter who she is now. She told me it would be a betrayal for me to say anything either. I politely disagreed, but I don't know how far to push this. I know they have already made out a little, so things are progressing physically. I don't want to be disrespectful to my transgender friend because she trusted me by opening up about her transition. If you were me, what would you do?
Oh, boy. I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to ask somebody who's transgender what the protocol on that is. Do you say something or do you let it all develop? Like, who should you be loyal to? I don't know. I've never had to deal with this.
Well, there are different approaches. You could go on and say something and get some people upset. You could say, look, this isn't my deal. This is between two other people. I have no business in this. So what you guys do, that's your own life.
I would like to hear from the transgender community, though, what they think.
Are you supposed to say? Are you supposed to be upfront about your past when it comes to stuff like that?
Don't know. Guess that's the question to ask.
You feel like when you're getting serious with somebody, it's pretty important, right?
I would personally want to know that. I would want someone to tell me that they're. If I was getting involved with them, I think if you're getting involved with someone romantically, I think you should know stuff about that. That would be if you found that out after the fact. I think that would be tougher to deal with because I think you should be open and honest about everything when you're dating somebody.
If I were in this situation, though, I would continue to press the friend. I don't think that I'm telling anybody else somebody else's business. And I'd say, look, I think it might be something you should have a conversation with before you get to that level. I think that is something that should be discussed. I don't know that I agree that it's like, hey, that is mine.
But none of us have ever gone through this before, so we might not be the perfect place to ask.
But what would you personally, like if you were in that situation, what would you want? Would you want someone to tell you up front, or do you think that you never have a right to know that?
I think that if I was starting to get serious with somebody, I would say about 3 or 4 dates in, I would want to know from them, not from one of their friends. I would want them to tell me about 3 or 4 dates in, look, hey, here's something important about me. Mm-hmm. But that's me not ever having gone through this before and not really knowing what the protocols are.
Well, this is one of those topics people are afraid to talk about because they're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing to offend somebody, and none of us know.
Well, I think it's because where have you heard this conversation? I know I have not heard it, but I would like to hear it. What are the arguments
for saying and for not saying?
Yeah, I still don't, and maybe it's just the way that I am. I don't like to interject myself into other people's business. And first of all, I don't really even like people telling me their secrets because I don't want to know, and then I'm faced with that dilemma. But if somebody had told me and I knew that one of my transgender friends was dating another one of my friends and had not been forthcoming about what their original gender was, I would have that discussion. Now, the transgender friend is saying, look, this is none of their business, not something that I feel like I need to say. What's important is who I am now. And so I guess they have had that discussion. And at that point, I'd probably be like, okay, all right. I mean, hey, this is your life and your relationship. Now, what about the friend who is not transgender? If they ever find out, I'd be like, you knew and you didn't say anything to me? Well, I mean, it wasn't my business to say.
I was told not to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you specifically brought it up to the friend of yours
Right.
that is transgender and they said, no, I'm not telling and I don't have to and it's not your business, then, I mean.
I respected their wishes on that to say, this isn't your job to tell anybody what my gender is, and so please stay out of it. And that's what I was asked, and so I did.
But let's say you're dating somebody for 3 months and you haven't told them that you had transitioned. Is that something you should tell somebody? How long should you wait to tell somebody that?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody doesn't know, like a situation like that.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd feel different had I transitioned and if I'd gone through it myself. But to me, I would assume, not knowing anything about this, I would assume this is something that you would be forthright about. But maybe it's something really going now. The truth is, and who I am right now is who I became, not who I was born. And I guess that's ultimately what the argument is.
Yeah, I'd love to hear people on both sides talking it out, you know, with love and compassion. Nobody wants to hear massive fighting on this, but if we're ignorant, educate us.
Yeah. 877-979-WRMF, 877-979-9763. You can give us your thoughts if you're kind of caught up in the middle of this or ever would be. You've got a friend that you know that has transitioned, and they're dating another one of your friends that is unaware that they used to be another gender. Would you step in and say something or not? You can let us know at the KVJ Show.
Get the info on everything that's going on with us at kvjshow.com.
Interesting debate about somebody who's kind of caught in the middle here, where they've got one friend that is dating their other friend who is transgender. But the one friend who is not doesn't realize that the other is. They've talked to their transgender friend, said, hey, I think this is something that you should reveal. And they said, look, who I am now is who I am. We don't have to go back and tell our past and who we were. So I'm not going to say anything, and you shouldn't say anything either. And that's the question. They apparently are feeling like, I just feel like they should know. But what do? Do they get involved, or they just shut up and say, well, it's your decision. I think that you should, but it's your call. Jay on here from Green Acres has got a thought on this, and apparently it happens more than you think, because somebody texted in and said, I dealt with the same issue with a transgender friend.
Interesting.
So it could be happening in other places as well. So what's your thought, Jay?
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, well, honestly and truthfully, at the end of the day, I get it. You're caught in the middle between two friends. I'm going to kind of play both sides. It might take a few seconds on this. But you got the guy who you don't know how this man was brought up. So you're looking at things mentally, emotionally, spiritually, religiously, many different ways. And it's a very touchy situation and topic. Get it? You don't want to offend anybody. But at the end of the day, how is that person going to feel when they realize they may have done something that's against their beliefs? You know, have cases and situations where somebody they met a cross-dress or something like that, and they killed themselves, or they went crazy, or they questioned themselves.
Yeah.
And then now you have the person who has that situation where they've done their transition. You made your transition, it's fine. You want to be accepted, it's fine. But at the end of the day, you do have to be honest. And what if this person may want kids down the road? He falls deep in love with this person. Now he's going to have to sacrifice every chance at wanting to create his own children with the person that he biologically has a right to do. And unfortunately, it comes down to a situation where it's like, what do you do then? And then you have the friend who's trying to do right and wants to honor the other person's request and be, confidential. Okay, that's your business to say something. But now if you have this other friend where they're friends together, it's very touchy, but to me, at the end of the day, right is right and honesty is honesty, and you gotta do it. I say that because I have a brother who is going through transition, like real talk, going through transition. You have a girlfriend. They've known each other for years. They've been together since about high school. Okay. And I'm like, okay, well, he wants to go through his transition, and she's accepting of that. And if I'm not mistaken, they're planning to have a child beforehand or whatnot. Now that's a whole touchy situation there as well. And like I said, everything is very touching nowadays, period.
Right.
Such the freedoms and liberties people have.
But I would think, and
honesty,
to your point, Jay, I would think that if you are transgender, this is who I am. This is the journey that I'm on. Everybody's life is a journey. And if you're starting a relationship with somebody, wouldn't you want them to embrace your journey and who you are and who you've been and who you're becoming?
Shouldn't you tell the whole journey, though? Shouldn't you?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the entire story, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's my initial thought on it right now. Somebody texted in and said, deliberate omission is as bad as lying. I put this on the same level as having a kid with another person that you don't talk about. And there are some things on relationships, we've talked about that. How long before you tell somebody you're dating that you have kids? How long before you tell them that?
When it comes to all of this stuff, matters of the heart kind of stuff, I think it's always best to be upfront and honest with somebody. Mm-hmm. As soon as you can. I mean, obviously, maybe not right in the first 2 seconds, but we're talking about matters of the heart kind of stuff. I feel like you should be honest. I would always want to know anything of anyone's past that's a big deal.
Significance.
Of course, I would want to know
Children,
that. Anything.
Any of this stuff. Yeah, when you're getting serious, like third date serious, I think you should talk about it.
I want to know if we're going to have a relationship together, I want to know if there's a history of cancer in your family. These are all things I want to know about you eventually because we're going to be spending a life together.
So we got somebody here that is caught between two friends. These two friends are dating. One of them is transgender, and the other friend doesn't realize that the other person is now female and once was male. Do they say anything? Now, one text here says, if the friend is as good a friend and you value their friendship, then you need to tell the other friend that they were born a different gender, and shame on the person who transitioned for not being upfront to the person they are dating. That's kind of the question wanting to know. Is that one of those things that you do need to disclose, and if so, when in a relationship? Mike has got a comment here from West Palm Beach. What do you want to say, Mike?
Couple things. One, if the friend is good friends with both of them, then I think that it's a 100% you have to press them to, like, hey, this is the right thing to do. If it's something you're embarrassed about or if it's something that you're uncomfortable with, you need to let this person know. And I think the best position for the friend in the middle would be to tell the friend that needs to tell them, hey, look, until you are honest with this person, I think we're going to have to kind of put our friendship on hold a little bit just because it is that important. I completely agree with Virginia on third date. I think it's like, hey, first date, I might not just blow that out there. It's like, hey, I've been to prison. Oh, whoa, first date, no. but I believe, I think when you get to the third date, it's like, hey, if this is, like Jason said, if this is somebody you're thinking about a real relationship with, what if that's part of who you are, I don't think you want to get into this relationship under false pretenses, because then you're going to get banged over the head in 6 months or a year when something does come out or when they do find out, and you have the biggest broken heart of your life because you loved some person and now they loved who they thought you were, and maybe they don't agree with it. Or it's just the fact that you built a relationship on a lie. That's the bottom line.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I think it feels like the right thing to be upfront about that is to be honest about who you are, who you've been in a lot of relationships. But that does bring up a lot of different scenarios where, well, do you reveal this in a relationship? Do you reveal that in a relationship?
Well, I think you reveal things that are going to be important, that are going to come up in your life.
Mm-hmm. Juliana's on here from Boca. Now, you have had a friend who changed their sex and revealed it. So you kind of have a similar situation. What happened with you, Juliana?
So what happened was I was in school and my friend, I never knew about it, and he eventually told me after he had gotten top surgery. And, it obviously didn't really affect me. I kind of took it as it was. And it did kind of blow me away a little bit because I never knew. And so knowing that, I was like, okay, that's fine. It just kind of stunned me a little bit, but thinking about it, I was like, okay, so one of my friends was deeply obsessed with this kid, and I knew she didn't know because he told me nobody knew. And so it was kind of hard for me to be like, okay, I know she's deeply in love, head over heels with this guy. She doesn't really know who he is, but she thinks she does. So it was just really hard to kind of see how he sees it from his eyes and how she would see it if she found out. Because, I mean, I think I kind of agree with Virginia. Like, you got to know at some point, because it was who you are. And I think, you know, your journey is a part of you. So everybody should kind of know what you have gone through or how you got to where you are now. So it was kind of just hard. I didn't end up saying anything. You know, it's none of my business.
Right.
It's between them. But it's definitely hard to know when someone else doesn't. Or to say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like the right thing to do. And only speaking just with what I understand and what I know right now, it feels like it's none of my business, one. But two, it feels like it would be the right thing to disclose that information.
Well, if you're dating somebody, you want honesty. You want to know what's going on. That has nothing to do with even what we're talking about. That's just the golden rule of dating.
And somebody texted in and said, you know, why not call it obvious? They're not telling the friend that they are transgender because they know that they're not going to be happy, maybe with what they hear, and they don't want to risk the relationship. And, you know, if you're holding back a part of who you are, thinking the person won't want to be with you because of that, then you're right. That is omission in a relationship, and it is dishonest, and it's hard to build a relationship. I would tell them it's hard to build a relationship if the premise is built on dishonesty, and you're omitting something that you really think that person would want to know.
That's not a controversial statement. That's just the way it is.
So apparently this is something that, you know, some people are dealing with. And so you may wind up with that situation where somebody doesn't want to be forthcoming with it. So just some thoughts on how to deal with it.
Ow! There's a lot of dumbass criminals to talk about, baby. It's the whacked out news. People breaking the law. Ha ha, fighting in the nude. Ha, drunk people pooping in the street. Ha ha, it's the whacked out news. So many people on meth. Ow!
Kind of curious if anybody can top this for best night of tips. Somebody, I guess, who's maybe not a dancer, at least. If you're just in the service industry and you wait tables, Kimberly Fillion might have set the record at Kirby's Sports Grill in Juno Beach. She received a $1,300 tip followed by a $1,500 tip on the same night. $2,800 in tips.
Wow. That is big cash.
And that's only two, yeah. Apparently, she had mentioned in passing to a customer that she was a graduate of the Ohio State University. And the customer ended up leaving her a $1,300 tip with a note that said, "Go XU," which was confusing at first, but that would be for Xavier University, which is in Cincinnati. Now, apparently, there's a crosstown tip-off challenge in Cincinnati, Ohio, between University of Cincinnati and Xavier. So they go out and leave big tips for servers and try to one-up the other school by doing that. So the server then told one of her regular customers about the big tip later in the evening, and he ended up leaving her a $1,500 tip and wrote the note, "I want to be king."
This is great.
It's nice when people are fighting to give you the biggest tip that you're going to get.
$1,300 and then $1,500. That is a great day at Kirby's.
She wound up splitting the tip with her coworkers, which is pretty cool on top of it. But yeah, that's kind of neat. I don't know if anybody's going to beat that.
Is that the move you do? You get a big tip like that, you split with your coworkers?
Yeah.
I think you got to do that.
You have to.
They're going to hate you if you don't.
Well, she said like some of the other coworkers are single moms. One of her coworkers just had a baby. And so she was like, yeah, I got to share it with these people. We've been through a lot with this COVID.
I wonder if that happens a lot where somebody in the restaurant, like on shift, gets the big tip. Everyone knows about it. They don't share. And then they're like, you know what, you son of a biscuit. They get all disgruntled.
Well, I think stories like this are going to force you, if you want to keep friends, to share.
Yes.
Which is the right thing to do if you get a massive tip like that.
So cool stuff there at Kirby's in Juneau. And nice job there, Kimberly. If anybody's got a bigger tip, you want to let us know, 877-979-WRMF. There's a woman in North Carolina who was searching for her biological father who took a DNA test. The results maybe makes her regret even looking in the first place because she found out he's on the FBI's most wanted list for murdering 5 family members back in 1976.
Damn.
5. That's big doings right there.
That's incredibly horrid.
Yes, it is.
She goes, okay, I found your father. All I'm going to do is give you his name. I said, so, well, is it someone famous? And she said, yeah. And I thought, of course my father's a murderer.
Oh, my.
Well, do you have the guy's name again? Was it,
No, I don't have the name.
famous murderer that killed his... The name, Okay, William Bradford Bishop Jr. is his name.
Okay.
From 1976. Dang.
Well,
I think
when you have more than two names, you've likely killed before.
I think they add on a name. So if Kevin becomes a murderer, he would just become Kevin Lee Ralston.
Of the KVJ show.
Of the KVJ show is a murderer.
Okay.
That's the one time they actually get the plug right for the show.
Yeah, they get it totally right.
Oh, totally. They get the call letters right at the station.
Yeah, if we do something bad, that's how accurate. It'll be a very accurate report.
Totally accuracy.
There's a guy in St. Pete, Florida, got arrested back in October of 2019 after he had relations with an Olaf doll at Target.
What the hell?
I don't know if you remember that story or not.
Did he have relations with it in the Target and then put it back on the shelf?
I think he was caught in the Target doing the act. And they have looked a little bit more into that, and he's done the proper evaluations. And in court on Tuesday, the judge ordered a psych eval to say, I'm not sure if this guy is capable of going on trial.
Wow, I'm looking at one of the Olaf dolls, and if it's this one...
It's sexy, huh?
You could absolutely climb on this thing and get busy with it.
Okay.
Olaf doing it for you?
I'm just saying, it's there. It could happen.
Let it go, then.
So the story is kind of going around from about 6 days ago. There was a passenger that was kicked off a plane after he refused to wear a mask. He was on a JetBlue flight from New York to Cancun.
Are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Really? Dude, you know the rules. If you don't want to wear the mask, maybe don't fly. Take a road trip.
Yeah, they had
You're
to...
stopping the plane. People got someplace to get.
They had to divert in Fort Lauderdale, and he wasn't done.
Ugh.
Apparently, when it was all said and done, he was getting kicked off. He said, I hope you get eaten by an alligator. Is what he was doing, and doing the taunt.
Let's go, get up, let's go. Boo! Boo! I hope you get eaten by an alligator.
Okay.
I mean, the crowd loved it.
They like that.
I mean, think of all the added time and frustration to traveling now. If you're anybody else on that plane, everybody's already nervous about traveling. They don't want to be in the plane any longer than they have to. And this clown just added 45 minutes to your travel, or an hour, or 2 hours. Come on, people.
Yeah. A woman in Pennsylvania was arrested last October after she went through the McDonald's drive-thru several times in a row because she kept forgetting that she'd already been there.
Oh, no.
I'd like to place an order.
She's hammered.
Mick hammered.
I'd like to place an order.
She's going to Mick to jail.
I'd like to place an order. Oh, my goodness. A guy in Nova Scotia, Canada, on a riding lawnmower got arrested for drunk driving when he took it out onto the roads and created a huge traffic backup. Oh, I'd like to place an order.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
They will bust you on a mower as well.
Yeah, they will. A person in Australia recently moved into a new place and got a long letter from their neighbors asking them to be quieter with their, quote, body-clapping sounding sex.
Oh, my.
They then threatened to shame them on Facebook, but the person then proudly posted their letter on Reddit, said, yeah, I don't care. Put it on social media.
Yeah, there's some
We'll do it for you.
There's some people that really make big sounds with their bodies during it, almost to the point where they'll have you'll make.
That's what happens when bodies start slapping
The better-
from doing the wow thing.
The better the booty, the bigger the clap.
Sometimes your bodies can get stuck together and make that fart sound.
That's hot.
Yeah, it is hot.
You gotta laugh at it.
Don't know if you saw the Prime Minister of Thailand spraying reporters with hand sanitizer, trying to get them to stop asking them tough questions.
Wow, that's a move.
Tough questions be gone.
Can you do that?
I don't know.
Yeah, then I think I saw on the news he put up a cardboard cutout, said, ask this guy questions, and then walked off.
Oh, he's going through it.
Yeah.
He's about to snap.
About to. I would say he's snapping.
Yeah. And as we got spring breakers all over South Florida and throughout Fort Lauderdale, maskless, the University of California, Davis is offering to pay 500 students $75 to not go on spring break and stay in town instead. $75? what am I going to do? At UC Davis.
I know a lot of schools, at least some of the ones that I have friends that sent their kids off to, they canceled spring break. And they have classes going through March and April. They had given them an extra week at Christmas and said, no, we don't want you doing spring break.
Yeah, I know some schools had. I think there were some Florida schools, a lot of them actually, that had.
I think that was smarter if you were trying to stop the body shots of spring break.
Mm-hmm. But, I mean, what do you do with $75 running loose in Davis, California?
It doesn't seem like a big bounty.
Yeah, I don't know how persuasive that really is.
I mean, that's basically an Uber Eats.
It's like a low-budget bribe.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so there you go. And that is your whacked out news. All right, we got another battle of the generations here today. We're pitting the millennials up against Gen X. So in the age group for the millennials, we have Katie here from Lake Worth. Hello, Katie.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Say hello to Denny's, your millennial partner.
Hi, Denny.
How's it going?
Okay. Got those millennials.
Oh, we
so
band together.
understated. And then we have representing Gen X from Palm Springs. It is Jessica. Hello, Jessica.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay. And say hello to Jaybird, your partner.
Hey, Jaybird, you ready to crush this?
Hey, how's it going? You ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Okay, I love the connection.
They call him Paying Attention Pennington.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. I was getting your breakfast order ready.
What happened to my order? You told me you ordered it like 2 hours ago.
Rookie mistake. I forgot to hit send.
Damn!
Oh.
It'll be...
Eggs are not on the way.
How many times you hit delivery and you forgot to hit send?
Because she was distracting me because she had to do that third dirt. It's on its way.
We hit send. I thought we hit send during the second dirt.
It's on its way, Mama. You'll have your eggs by the podcast.
Damn.
Okay.
A lot of egg mistakes today on this show.
I know. All right, let's start off with our millennials here today. They get the first question out of their pop culture generational grouping. Let's see if they can get it right. If Katie can answer on her own, she gets 2 points. If Denny's has to help, she gets 1. Your question, Katie, for the millennials, Team Millennial here. What was the name of the character that Spike Lee played in the Nike It's Gotta Be the Shoes commercials with Michael Jordan?
I'm sorry, my connection there at the end of the question.
Spike Lee played a character in Nike commercials with Michael Jordan back in the 80s. He said, it's got to be the shoes. What was his name? It was also in one of his Spike Lee movies from the middle to late 80s.
I have no idea.
Denny's? What do you think about that?
Gosh, I have no idea either.
Okay.
Spike
Lee?
Yeah,
did not call him Spike. No, that is incorrect. Got nothing on that. Bird, do you happen to know that one?
I do, and I can't think of it right now because I'm not going to lie. I'm a little kind of reeling about breakfast.
That's a tough one.
It's going to be hard for me to stay focused.
She can't believe eggs are not on the way.
Yeah. Mars Blackman. Mars Blackman.
Ooh, that was tough.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Toughie right out of the gate.
Okay.
Ralston wants you to lose.
He does.
Yeah,
He told me, watch this.
Gen X over here.
Take the big D down.
Okay, let's see if this is a tough one for Generation X, your battle of the generations. The term YOLO was popularized by which Drake song? YOLO came from what Drake song? Jessica, if you can answer by yourself, you get 2 points. Bird has to help you get 1. What do you think?
I think it's the motto.
Gonna go with the motto. That is correct.
Generation X.
All right, Gen X. Starting off with the 2 spot there.
Yeah. Take that, Malin.
Oh, man.
Okay, back to our millennials here and your question. Cyndi Lauper did the theme song for what popular movie in 1985? Katie, what do you think?
Oh, man.
She did
I don't know.
Okay.
I can hear a bird moving around over there. It's got to be the Goonies.
Goonies, that is correct.
Good enough for me.
It's good enough for you. It's good enough. You're singing it wrong.
You messed up the flow. I was singing a different part. You had to bully yourself right in there, didn't you, Snooki?
Okay, it is a 2-1 Gen X lead in the battle of the generations. Next question. Who is the youngest Kardashian sister? What do you think, Jessica?
Oh.
It's one of the Jenners.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kylie or Kendall.
Ooh.
Why do you sound like you need to poop?
What do you think?
Jaber, do you know?
I think I do.
Okay. We'll go with 1 point if you get it right. Bird, what do you think?
Kendall feels right.
Okay.
Kendall feels real right.
Okay.
Do you want me to lock it in? Lock it in.
Yeah, let's lock it in.
Yeah, it's Kylie.
It's
Kylie.
Kylie is the
You know,
youngest.
be glad you don't know that. We'll take the loss
Be
on that.
glad you didn't get a point.
Yeah, take the loss on that.
Okay.
Sometimes the loss is good.
It's better not to know.
All right, you give a big opportunity here for the millennials. Gen X is up 2-1 in the battle of the generations. Okay, next question here for our millennials. Old people should know this. Will the millennials name one of the two groups featuring Duran Duran members after they split into two side projects in 1985? You name one of the two and you'll get 2 points here. Katie, what do you think?
These questions are so hard. I straight up have no idea.
She straight up has no idea. Denny's, any idea?
Oingo Boingo.
Oingo Boingo. No.
I know that one.
You do, Burb?
Arcadia?
Okay.
And something with a rose in it? No? Arcadia? Oh, yeah,
Arcadia got the Power Station.
The Power Station.
They had several hits, too.
Bang a gong.
Get it on.
Bang a
And
gong.
Some Like It Hot.
Some like it hot.
Yeah. Big hits. Some
Some
like it hot. Okay. Our Gen Xers can put it away if they can get this one correct.
I'm jumping on somebody if we win. So look out, room.
Okay. Your question here, Jessica, for the win in Battle of the Generations. Sugar Mama was the name of Penny's grandma in which Disney Channel cartoon?
Penny. Okay, so that was, is that the Rugrats?
Is that the Rugrats? Denny's, do you know that one?
I don't.
You don't. Okay. Let me see here. I guess that actually would be a
That's-
question for
yeah,
Bird. Yeah,
I
it's a
just
question
don't
for
know
Bird.
that
Sorry.
answer.
Okay, Bird, do you know it?
Well, did she say, is that your answer, Rugrats? Is that with
And
confidence?
it's incorrect.
It's incorrect.
No,
it's
that's
going to
not
you.
with confidence at all.
Could you repeat the question?
Yes. The question is breakfast.
It's on its way, but it's not going to be here to the podcast. You're right. It's been a struggle. I'm having a tough time concentrating. The question?
He might be concussed. We're not sure. What's that NFL protocol that they take those guys in the tent and give them?
Concussion protocol.
Can we take him in the KVJ tent?
Yeah.
Because I bounced 24 eggs off his head, and I don't know if he's okay.
No, I don't think he is.
We know I've had at least 2 concussions confirmed.
Yes,
So,
okay.
we think, right?
Sugar Mama was the name of Penny's grandma in which Disney Channel cartoon? This is for a Gen X win if you get it right, Bird.
So that means this would have been, the millennials would have been watching it. It's got to be like a Hannah Montana or a Futurama.
It's just a generation that is not Gen X that typically would be watching it. Could even be a Gen Z.
Okay. Let's go with Wizards of Waverly Place.
Wizards of Waverly Place?
Waverly Place.
Okay. That is incorrect. It's the Proud Family. The Proud Family.
Proud family.
What the hell? No, they're Ralston trying to trick us? Wow. You
I know,
sense
that
that?
was a weird one.
Summer Rig coming around.
Okay, maybe nobody's seen that show. All right, let's see here. Katie, you are still in it, only down 2-1, but you got to get this correct. And your question is, what were the first names of the cousins in the TV show The Dukes of Hazzard?
Cousin.
Katie, millennials are in it if you can get this correct. If not, you will lose to Gen X. What do you think here, Katie, to stay alive in the battle of the generations? What were their 2 first names of the Duke boys?
I'm sorry, Denise. I don't remember.
Okay. Denny's, to stay alive for the millennials. First names of the Duke boy cousins in the Dukes of Hazzard.
Just some good old boys.
And yeah.
Never meaning no harm. Beats all you ever saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day
I think Virginia might know it.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys
Denny's?
know it. I don't know. Bo and Derek.
Oh.
You were close. You got one of the 2. You had to get both. It was Bo and Luke.
Oh, so close.
I love how you went
Guess
Bo
2
Derek,
names.
though.
Yeah, I went with an old person's name, Bo Derek.
Bo Derek. All right, it was a good fight. Our Gen X gets the win today by 1 point over the millennials. Congratulations, Jessica and Katie. Thanks for putting up the fight today for the millennials. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, there
Nice
you go.
work.
All right. Can't believe Bird actually won.
It doesn't feel right.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
Sloppy win.
We don't cheer for concussions to win.
Yeah. Coming up here in just a couple of minutes, just some crazy stuff. Denny's almost killed somebody.
Oh, no.
What the heck? What did he do? We'll find out next.
Want KVJ Uncensored? Check out the After the Show podcast, wherever you get your podcasts, and at kvjshow.com.
So Denny's is trying to kill somebody? I mean, what the heck? I didn't think he had it in him. Apparently so.
Denny's.
Now, this happened yesterday that Denny's almost murdered.
Oh, it's fresh.
Yeah.
He did, but something saved it.
Yeah, what?
Pizza.
Pizza? Oh. Okay, so what exactly happened? Who did you almost kill and how?
You want me to tell the story?
Go ahead,
Yeah.
man.
Tell away and just think whatever you say can be used in a court of law.
Well, so we were leaving my place. I was driving Bird's car, and I was driving Bird home. And you've been to my place, Virginia. When you leave, there's that very dangerous intersection onto Military.
Yes. It is very busy right there. And kind of tricky if you have to go left. If you have to go right, no big deal.
It's actually very dangerous.
So this left is what I was making, which is tricky because the people across the way either have a straight or a left or a turn. They can either cross traffic or go straight. And if they don't use their signal, you have no idea which way they're going because you're coming onto them.
Right.
So I'm going in and I'm watching the traffic and I start making the left. And I wasn't looking to my left. I'm watching the cars as I'm turning the wheel. I'm watching the cars straight ahead. And then I hear I'll reveal, I hear a pizza box sliding.
I had a pizza box on the dashboard of the car. As he's making the left-hand turn, this girl, out of the blue, she makes an illegal move on foot. She's walking when she's not supposed to be walking, and he doesn't see her. He's about to hit her. I mean, he didn't see her.
Well, so the pizza box slid onto Bird's lap, and it caused him to look up as I was making this left-hand turn. Because when you make a turn and the pizza's on the dash, it always slides onto the seat.
It slid as it's sliding. It takes my eyes to the pizza box. As I see the pizza box sliding, I see the girl coming out of nowhere, and I go, Denny's! Denny's!
Pedestrian!
Crossing the street, one thing I don't look for typically, especially when I have the green light to make the left, is a person crossing the street. And so the girl, I see, we saw, she's wearing earbuds, just crossing the street. I don't even think she saw us.
Didn't
even look up.
Almost lost her life. But I tell you what, if that pizza box wasn't in there, me and the peace train were probably talking to the cops.
Damn.
So you're giving pizza all the credit for being a life-saving food
instrument, yeah.
The pizza sliding is what made him look up and give you the
Because you
warning.
look up towards the window and he saw as the pizza box came down, there's a girl walking.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't you say I legit stopped that accident from happening by me saying, Denny's, look out? Like I was a
total. Because who knows whether I would have looked left after I started turning. There was still some space, but if I didn't look left, I would have absolutely hit her. So
he gives me the credit, and then I give the credit to the pizza box.
Pizza doesn't make a move in any of your cars without you noticing it.
Dude, the power of pizza, it brings people together.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, Bird went to go catch the pizza, and he saw this girl crossing, so it worked out in our favor.
Pizzas don't fall on his watch.
I'm telling you, there's a reason why pizza's on this earth.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
To save lives?
It's saving lives. It's building relationships.
Pizza, pizza, Pizza. Damn, the girl doesn't even know.
She has no idea. She almost
had
got clocked.
earbuds on. She doesn't even know the respect she owes pizza.
And also be careful when you're crossing the street when it's red. When it's a red cross. It had the red hand saying don't cross.
You're not supposed to cross when it says don't cross.
Because, motorcyclists too are very scary. I mean, if you don't expect to see something there, you're looking for a large object. You know, it actually brought awareness. It was kind of like a godsmack to pay attention. Make sure you're looking for pedestrians.
Damn.
You should.
Yeah.
And coming from a guy who's been hit by a car and who has hit somebody with a car.
Yes.
Just
You know
look
about this.
Just look both ways.
Yeah.
You don't have a kill count, do you?
No,
Oh,
stop
okay.
it.
I'm a journalist.
Now, I saw this poll out there today that I'm sure Jaybird may not approve with. It was a survey that's getting some traction today, asking people what foods they absolutely couldn't live without. And pizza is not number 1 on the list, and it's not number 2 on the list. It's number
How?
3.
Oh.
That's what I thought as well.
That's weird because everybody always says pizza.
Who did this voting?
It is a survey that is out today. I'll have to go look to see what the source is of it.
Reddit.
Yeah. Some damn liberal. No. An agenda against pizza.
It's definitely politically motivated.
Very politically
It's
motivated.
nobody you care about, nobody you've heard of, called SWNS Digital.
Oh, come, it sounds like someone
Yeah.
made that up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is what they have done. A survey of 2,000 general population Americans.
Well, let's just go through the room right here. What would pizza be your number 1? Jason Pennington? Yes. Kevin Ralston?
I'm going chicken wings right now.
Damn.
Yeah. I'm going chicken wings. Talked about them yesterday. Got my blog up on our website. Added some suggestions. Chicken wings for me right now. Keto Kev, it's that.
What about you, stuck up Sinicki?
Oh, you know it's not fancy enough.
It's some kind of aquatic bowl junk.
Sushi.
Get out. Oh. Sweet Daddy's not gonna. You're not gonna pick pizza either.
It's either sushi or Chinese for me.
Dang.
So Jaybird just did his own unscientific survey, and no one else is choosing pizza, and you're arguing how bunk this survey is.
20%?
Because they put pizza 3, 20%.
Dang.
Kevin, I'm reeling.
Yeah.
How will you go on?
Thank goodness breakfast will be here.
Wow.
Breakfast supposed to be here by the thought of the day.
All right, I'm
So
watching.
Pizza may not even rank that high in this KVJ poll.
But we are a bunch of
Idiots?
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. The average person out there, it's still gonna be pizza.
If you ask in my house, it's pizza. Panda, Rocco,
Right.
and Mags would all say pizza.
My wife, too.
I get it.
I'll tell you who would also pick pizza. He's not here, clearly. Fat Kevin.
Damn.
Yeah, if it weren't for the keto part of it.
Zombie Fat Kevin pick pizza.
Man, I just want to hug Fat Kevin so bad. Whether it's zombie Fat Kevin or not, I don't care.
They had as the food that people absolutely couldn't live without of the 2000 survey, they said mac and cheese was number 1. Then butter. Butter?
What?
Butter?
Goes with
Okay.
everything.
I do love butter, but really?
Odd.
That's
They have milk, bread, bacon, pasta, cheese is down there, burgers, and peanut butter is in the top 10.
I daydream about really fatty white bread. Just like the kind where, even the kind you cut, like the loaves, the big ass bread.
doughy.
Yeah, doughy. I'm trying to summon Fat Kevin.
What's Zombie Fat Kevin's favorite pizza topping?
You gotta ask him that.
Brains.
Sorry, Kevin. She's ruining your show.
They did have a list today of the healthiest and most unhealthy breads. Healthiest are whole grain, whole wheat, Ezekiel, and sourdough.
Yeah, the ones that don't taste as good.
Yeah, people always try to act like sourdough is so good. Sourdough is so overrated.
I like sourdough. It's that wheat that you can keep.
I agree with that, Witch. I agree with that.
The least healthy are bagels, white bread, flour tortillas, and white pita bread.
Can I get an amen for some potato bread? Oh,
Potato bread is good.
potato bread is. I could live on. I could take potato bread, ball it up, and just dip it in a sauce, and be happier than a pig in poop.
Yeah.
We know you could.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if this is surprising. Are you guys normal or not normal? The average adult spoils their appetite 5 times a week.
A week?
A day, Kevin.
That's cute, honey.
57% said that they've eaten an entire bag of chips or other snacks in one sitting.
Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Those damn Girl Scouts, they're everywhere with them cookies.
And 45% have eaten an entire meal of nothing but junk food.
Dude, just in
that seems low.
I don't want to brag. In 2021 alone, in one day, I ate 5 boxes of Uncrustables.
That's impressive.
5 boxes?
5 boxes.
How many come in a box?
4 come in a box.
Okay.
So 4 times 8, quick, 32.
All right.
32 times 8, 800.
What?
No, 32 times. Oh,
You heard
what?
what?
32. They're 200 per.
I'm backing out of this math conversation with you because I'm dumb, but you're dumb too. So we got
Agreed.
no business.
You're right.
Yeah. And they said here, according to the survey, 2/3 of people say they'll eat a food they love, even if they have an allergy or intolerance to it, because it is worth the pain.
Yes, ice cream.
Do you guys eat through being full? Like, you can't eat anymore. Like, oh my God, I'm going to throw up if I eat. But you go, wait a minute, I need one more slice because it's that damn good.
Yeah, I'm
On the verge of throwing up.
Well, I'm just saying,
No.
dude, you're going to power through it? What, are you an adult or what?
I don't do that.
How are we friends?
I drive you home.
We're so not alike.
And if you want to celebrate, today is National Ranch Day.
Ooh.
Not like with cowboys and cattle, but with sauce.
Don't you dare celebrate with no wishbone. If you want a case of the runs, go ahead, get some wishbone on your food.
Marie's is good.
Yes.
Marie's, Southwestern Marie's, don't get no wishbone.
Get yourself a doughy breadstick from a pizza joint, hot out the oven.
Slow it down, Mama.
Have some cheese on that breadstick, and you dip it in ranch, and you dip it real good.
You know what I thought was kind of crazy? I saw something today. It was a review of ranch dressing versus something from Britain called salad cream.
I've seen it before. Heinz makes it.
Yes.
They have it in the British section in the grocery store, and I've never bought it, but I always like to peruse.
Wait, there's a British section?
Yeah, bruh.
I'm like, what is this salad
Where do you
cream?
been?
Dog, I'm always in the Mexican section. I'm always doing
It's right next to the
It's in
British
the same-
section.
I go to the Asian section and I go to the Mexican section.
Well,
I didn't sleep well.
You need to go to the grammar and phonics section.
Wow.
Ooh,
Wow,
sorry.
that's a bit hurtful, right?
Struggle.
Wow,
Very
hurtful.
Took 24 eggs to the face today.
Thank you, Danny. Of course I'm not. I can't talk into my lip.
yeah, he took like 10 eggs off of it.
Oh, there's a cut inside my lip, and I keep playing with it because it's so prevalent. Thanks, witch.
If I hit you in the lip, that means I was accurate. What do you want?
Kevin, please.
I know.
I just gotta
Okay.
be
All
right.
right. Okay. Would Bird like salad cream?
Well, now that I know there's a British section next to the Mexican section.
His cut lip keeps getting stuck on his teeth.
What's making my lisp even sound more prevalent? I've said that word twice too. What's going on?
Oh, man. Poor boy, he's struggling over there.
I am struggling.
Yeah, it's tough, yeah.
I am.
World Record Wednesday kicked his butt.
Well, then this unicorn outfit's really tight. How it's tough to breathe.
Yeah.
Well, it's for a female.
People are saying they definitely can see the complete outline. It's like you've just saran wrapped your junk. They know. They even were saying what side it's hanging to.
And he stood up on his chair
Yeah.
a minute ago, and I'm like, whoa, that's aggressive. You
Might as
got
well
to
just take your pants off.
stand down.
Well, I wasn't trying to be aggressive. I was trying to dance.
Different kind of cream. There is a publication called The Daily Meal. They went with the best ice cream in the country, and they named the favorite for each state. They say that they scoured online reviews, social media posts, local publications, and went by word of mouth. And the best ice cream in the state of Florida, they say, is Jackson's Ice Cream Parlor and Restaurant in Dania Beach. They say it is known for its classic desserts like turtle sundaes and banana splits, but also has creations like the kitchen sink. 1 pound of ice cream per person, topped with bananas, homemade whipped cream, mixed nuts, cherries, and a sparkler or two, all served in a literal kitchen sink.
Yes, I've been there
Yeah.
because I went there specifically. I'm looking at pictures of it right now.
Yes.
It's got a red and white canopy out front. It's
Very
spelled
famous.
Jaxson.
Yep. Mhm.
And it is really yummy, but I don't know if it's the best ice cream I've ever had.
If Fat Kevin was here and there's no problem with calories or
Yeah.
fattiness, you get down on a type of ice cream. You get one. Which one do you go on?
Oh, gosh, that's too much.
Cookies and cream?
Oh, no,
Rocky
that's
Road?
too plain. I like the Rocky Road because I felt like I was getting more in it, but yeah, I would just pile up. I would like a soft serve even still where I could just put all kinds of gunk and goop in it and just keep it going. Peanut butter cups, Reese's Pieces, just fudge brownie, peanut butter, marshmallow goo, all that stuff. Just keep it coming.
I would love to take a Fat Kevin and go to some like a Dairy Queen and just have the complete
Peanut butter
access.
parfait, I love the peanuts with the hot fudge.
Oh,
amazing!
I'm more of an ice cream snob. Don't put any toppings on it. Just give it to me and let me taste the quality and the craftsmanship and the fresh ingredients, and I can tell the difference between crap mass-produced ice cream.
I didn't know you could make talking about ice cream boring.
Yeah, how did you make ice cream annoying and just... Yeah, now I just want to change the subject. And that's amazing, because it's ice cream, Kevin.
Yeah, we both want to punt on an ice cream conversation.
Kevin, no toppings.
Yeah. Nah. All right, coming up here in a couple of minutes, Jaybird is going to be wrapping up today's show with his thought for the day.
More KVJ next on 97.9 WRMF.
Got that after the show podcast going to be coming up. You can watch it live on YouTube. Check it out on Facebook, and it's always on demand. Also, too, it is on our podcast app. You can listen to it at 979WRMF.com, our free app. You go download it, register, and start listening, and you could win yourself $1,000. Plus, this week we're doing Florida staycation, so cool stuff.
Just for getting the app, I'm already going to be registered.
Yes, Virginia.
Damn.
Yeah, you go, you register, and then you start listening. You start getting credit.
Cash, vacation.
Did you already know that answer when you asked that question, or were you doing some acting there?
I was acting.
Okay,
That's great acting,
wow.
man.
That was
Pretty impressive, wasn't it?
really good.
Yeah.
Bring some cash. Maybe you can get this in your next KVJ movie.
Oh, you're in it.
Laid it all out there. Okay, so before we do the After the Show podcast, Jaybird, if you would, wrap us up here with your thought.
We talked a lot about cream today.
Yes.
A little cream thought.
Okay. Keep it clean.
Oh, yeah. Life is like an ice cream cone. You have to lick it one day at a time. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. That's not dirty. That's about life.
You're right.
Yeah.
Gotta lick that life.
That's it.
What happened to our breakfast that was going to be here by the thought of the day?
If you look at my phone, please wait a minute. Mikkel is dropping it off right now as we speak.
Wow.
Look at the time. I'm going right
Just
now.
in time for the podcast.
Mama, I'm getting food for
Oh,
you.
yeah.
Want to watch The KVJ Show? YouTube.com. Search KVJ Show, subscribe. The KVJ Show will be back in minutes on 97.9 WRMF.